U2H is an abbreviation given to a metric known as the unit to house value comparison. The idea behind this metric is to identify which type of property in the suburb might be better value for money. Is it houses or is it units? For example, let's say that units were worth $500,000 in a particular suburb and houses in the same suburb were worth $600,000. Now that's not a big difference in values, but the features for a house are usually much better than for units. For example, a house will have its own block of land, more bedrooms, more parking spaces and so on. So in this case, houses would be considered good value for money and the units would be considered overpriced. Now the U2H is not a simple ratio of the value of units compared to houses. The typical features of houses and units are taken into consideration, like the median block size of houses or how many bedrooms they have, how many bathrooms units have, for example. And that complexity has been simplified to a score out of 100. The higher the score, the better the potential for growth. So maybe for this first case, the U2H for houses would be 70 out of 100. Now, if that was true, then the U2H for units would be 30 out of 100. Now consider a different suburb where units are worth 500,000 and houses are worth 1.5 mil. And imagine also the houses are on tiny blocks and only had a few bedrooms, one parking space, and the units were typically 150 square metres with 2 bathrooms, lock-up garages including storage space. In this case, units would be considered good value and houses might be considered overpriced. So in this case, the U2H for units might be, let's say it was 65. If so, then the U2H for houses would be 35. Scores for houses and units in the same suburb will always add up to 100. There may be other criteria that determine a house or unit's value that we don't consider, for example, views or feng shui or open plan. So the U2H is only a rough metric. Don't rely on it entirely. It's only when it is combined with other metrics that it becomes useful.